chasing the cash, I just can't get enough. I've been in and still in my bag. Watch how I run it up. Spaceship straight to the moon. I had to love a love. Shorty was falling in love. All in a double cup. You know I be chasing the cash. It ain't no slowing down. These people all up in my business. They think they know me now.
Watch how I level up. I'm blowing woods at the shop with a double cup. Yep, niggas know not to fuck with us.
They can't fuck with me. Hell no. Hell no. Hell no. They can't fuck with me. Hell no. Hell no. Hell no. They can't fuck with me. Hell no. Hell no. Hell no. They can't fuck with me. Hell no. Hell no. Hell no. I don't play with this rap shit. Take over the city was just a distraction. I've been making bigger moves. Put us on the map, I kill it in the booth. The pudding is the proof, fire on the roof. Flash at her, hide the fire when I shoot. I became a sinner when I seen her glued. She was looking good, head to the boots. Match made good, head was the proof. I just let them break on bending all the rules. Fall out with the fake, laughing at you fools. I escaped the zoo, giving you a deuce. My sister really queen with the booze. Plugged with the bulls, I really got the juice. Rapper trying test, rapper tied noose. I was sinking threes, they was breaking twos. I was thinking beef, they was thinking truce. Play me like a game, it's only you can lose. I don't need anybody hugging up with this shotty. Try and hit this lick on me, that means you going kamikaze. Don't come to me to catch no stripes, cause all I do is catch a body. They don't like me, I don't trust them. They don't like me, so it's fuck them. Fuck these hoes, I never cuff them. I'm just turning nothing into something. They don't like me, I don't trust them. They don't like me, so it's fuck them. Fuck these hoes, I never cuff them. I'm just turning nothing into something. They don't like me, I don't trust them. They don't like me, so it's fuck them. Fuck these hoes, I never cuff them. I'm just turning nothing into something. They don't like me, I don't trust them. They don't like me, so it's fuck them. Fuck these hoes, I never cuff them. I'm just turning nothing into something. It's not a game. Put respect when you speak my name. Seeking change like a vagabond. On my dick, is she from Panama? Made her splash like a cannonball. Viet Cong is my catalog. Taliban just to top it off. Fuck a stand, all my haters lost. Real rap from a real trap. I will rap if you peel stacks. I don't care if you don't feel that. I don't care if you don't hear this. Kamala Harris is a weird bitch. On the cross and I don't fear shit. Omicron in the fear flick. Muzzle flash when you hear a click. Never tried to hold me down. All they did was hold me up. Apparently I've been confused on what the meaning of homie was. Apparently she got confused when I said I just wanna fuck. Bigger moves, I got bigger shoes. Local rappers can't fill them up. They don't like me, I don't trust them. They don't like me, so it's fuck them. Fuck these hoes, I never cuff them. I'm just turning nothing into something. They don't like me, I don't trust them. They don't like me, so it's fuck them. Fuck these hoes, I never cuff them. I'm just turning nothing into something. They don't like me, I don't trust them. They don't like me, so it's fuck them. Fuck these hoes, I never cuff them. I'm just turning nothing into something. They don't like me, I don't trust them. They don't like me, so it's fuck them. Fuck these hoes, I never cuff them. I'm just turning nothing into something. They can't fuck with me. Hell no. Hell no. Hell no. They can't fuck with me. Hell no. Hell no. Hell no. They can't fuck with me. Hell no. Hell no. Hell no. They can't fuck with me. Hell no.
Conspiracy Camp, what's up?
I'm so sick of the drama. I'm so sick of the lies. You so full of bullshit. I can see in your eyes. You ain't gonna do shit. No, you ain't gonna ride. You ain't about that action. Better not come outside. From the west side of Cleveland to the south side of Youngstown, beware your surroundings, motherfuckers getting gunned down. You never been down the road, you never rode that bus down. Plug hit me in the end zone, that's a touchdown. CM mixed signals, I ain't knowing who to trust now. They low-key hating cause I'm on my way up now. All goats on Axe chain cutting up now, but I ain't stopping till the rollie is a bust down. You can't stand to hear me playing through them speakers. Turn my haters to stone, Medusa on my sneakers. You went out your way to try to beg me for a feature. Now you just begging for your name on a t-shirt. t-shirt. I'm a young OG, we ain't close to the same thing. You damn near 30 just now trying to gangbang. Stressing at your mama house, trying to maintain. I'm a hometown hero in my city like Bruce Wayne. I keep a big bag, no stress. I got it off the muscle, both flex. I'm trying to buy some time, Rolex. You just a pussy boy, Kotex.
I keep a big bag, no stress. Got it off the muscle, both flex. I'm trying to buy some time, Rolex. You just a pussy boy, Kotex.
I'm so sick of the drama, I'm so sick of the lies. You so full of bullshit, I can see in your eyes. You ain't gonna do shit, no you ain't gonna ride. You ain't bout that action, better not come outside.
Fuck the law, licking shots out the rifle barrel. 7.62, break your bones, make a mess of marrow. Kill a track like a fentanyl poke. Talk tough in your rap, but really you don't want smoke. Message to you pound robbers, I won't hesitate. Have your brain looking like spaghetti on a dinner plate. I ban had this rap sheet, legally you been a saint. I ban traffic weight, crossing states on the interstate. Fuck a fake, fry your face in a frying pan. If I pull the heat, you only hope if the iron jam. Fuck a preacher, every Sunday he a lion man. Have him losing faith every Sunday like a Lions fan. I'm a man who lived through all the snake bites. Now I just stab for the face, I sense it ain't right. See the splat when I shoot, I ain't talking paint fights. Shooting for your goof, see my block better bank right. Rapper playing gang satire like the onion. Hook you up with a necktie, this Colombian. Say you about the hustle, where the fuck is your money then? Came up out the struggle, rolling solo so it's fuck a friend.
Rapper playing gang satire like the onion. Hook you up with a necktie, this Colombian. Say you about the hustle, where the fuck is your money then? Came up out the struggle, rolling solo so it's fuck a friend.
I'm so sick of the drama, I'm so sick of the lies. You so full of bullshit, I can see in your eyes. You ain't gonna do shit, no you ain't gonna ride. You ain't bout that action, better not come outside. I'm so sick of the drama, I'm so sick of the lies. You so full of bullshit, I can see in your eyes. You ain't gonna do shit, no you ain't gonna ride. You ain't bout that action, better not come outside.
Yeah. Strum. Alphabet Enochian, this the book of Enoch. Intellect on top of treetops, pen the wisdom like I'm Esau. Key to hustle is the restock, that's why I keep the heat cocked. Jesus can make the beef stop, full of snakes and we the peacocks. Rap don't pay the bills, I'm still rolling with a duffel. Bought the brand new Jeep, I'm about to cop a car with muscle. Real estate on the plate, evolution of my hustle. Gangsterism is the custom, early age caught in the struggle. I've been initiated, that's all I can really say. Reason they don't win the bag, they frontin', they don't really play. Thought I was a Marxist, but the Marxist is up in my way. I ain't fucking with these fascists either, pull pins, throw grenades. I remember watching cops raid my spot from down the block. I was young, my lawyer asked, are you gon' change or are you not? We was faded, getting high, that crackhead bitch, she stole my Glock. Seen her ass up on the north, her and her people ducking shots. Ducking shots.
Into scripture, the Bhagavad Gita, Vishnu is trying to persuade the prince that he should do his duty.
History is never lost, it's written on Akashic records. Where I'm from, I avoid the cops like the cops are lepers. Obvious molester, creepy Joe, just another Chester. Chiefin' on his son Bo, can you comprehend the message? I was living reckless when I bailed out of that moving car. Rode up to their block, they saw a flash like a shooting star. In my circle stacking cash, I'm the one who sets the bar. Most these rappers, they all cap the streets, they really left me scarred. I ain't trusting shit, and if you talking down, go eat a dick. Baby mama, piece of shit, white trash won't raise her kid. I'ma stop there with my dirty laundry in the wind. Had to cut her throat, it was a sacrifice to cleanse my sins. City cops, they really hate me, had those wins when fighting cases. Back in school, they told me lies about the mind and life of ancients. Fuck your feelings when it come to this music shit. Don't inbox me on pussy shit, ain't got time if you sensitive.
To impress him, takes on his multi-armed form and says, now I am become death, the destroyer of worlds.
Yo, what's good? It's your boy Squirrel, man. Smoke Session with Squirrel, episode 74. And who do I got with me today?
It's your boy Drama Treason.
Man, my dog Drama, man. Tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do.
Ah, shit, man. I've been part of Conspiracy Camp for a long time doing the hip hop thing. And just been cranking out the music, you know what I mean?
When did you get started on the music? Like, when did you start rapping?
Shit. We started, like, me and my cuddy Nate, we started a band a long ass time ago, probably around, like 20 years ago, more than 20 years ago. So I started rapping in the band, they would play music, and just started like that. Started doing a couple bands here and there, but, you know.
You work with actual bands?
Actual bands, like live bands. We used to fuck around. You know, we used to hang out with Rumble House and shit back in the day, and the Jones Band and shit, so. Watching them guys play all the time, do shows, we tried doing that shit too, but never really formed in anything. But that's how I got started.
So around when was that? You said over 20 years ago. When was that?
Yeah, like right around 2000.
Damn.
So,
Yeah, it's been grinding for a minute.
yeah, I just started writing lyrics and shit, you know, for a long ass time, the whole time. And me and my boy Dub started going over to this dude's cell house like 2005 or 6 and started recording there. That's like when I first started recording hip hop shit.
What got you into the hip hop shit? Was you always a fan?
I mean, I was always into hip hop. So, and I always rapped when it came to music, so.
Did your thing?
Yeah, I just went over there. We was just hanging out, you know. I didn't even know a dude recorded or anything. And he just turned a beat on one day that he made. And I was like, shit, give me a pad of paper. I just wrote a verse. He was like, damn, you want to record it? I was like, shit, let's do it. Recorded it and shit. Ended up recording a bunch of shit over there. But
what was your first name? It's always been Drama?
yeah, I mean, that's what everybody always called me anyway. So I added the treason, the AKA treason a long time ago just because there's other dramas and shit, you know, just to kind of, for the music, just to separate myself for the music. But yeah, everybody always just called me Drama, so that's just why. So
after you started doing the stuff with the band, what'd you do after that? Did you go to be a solo artist? Did you go to Conspiracy Camp? How did that work out?
Yeah, I was doing like solo shit for a minute, and then right around like 2009, I started a band again called Conspiracy Camp, and we was jamming out for a while and put together some nice tracks and shit, and nobody was really dedicated to the music. I was like the main person pushing, you know, to do something. So when that didn't work out, you know, I always was writing raps and shit. So I was hanging out with my boy Frankie. He was like, man, let me link you up with Schizo, because he's like in motion with the rap shit. You know, he can help you figure out, you know, how to get going as far as that, you know what I mean? So, and that's how I linked up with Flex and shit. Just started recording, just taking my shit, just finding beats, taking my lyrics and shit.
So
doing it like
your
that.
boy hooked you up with Schizo, and so y'all was rapping together, or?
No, just, I would always be like just rapping and shit, you know, hanging out and writing shit. My boy knew that, so, and he knew Schizo, and I was just like, I had no studio, nowhere to go, you know what I mean? So he was like, man, let me just make this little connection, you know, and do it to help you out. So that's how I got started rapping like around here and shit.
Yeah. So what I know it was a little bit of animosity or whatever. What was the problem with you and Schizo?
I mean, yeah, there's like, you know, I don't got no animosity. I mean, I can't say I never did just because of how certain shit panned out back in the day. Like I don't got no problems with Schizo or nothing, you know, personally or nothing. But
you know, we was a team. We was doing a lot of music and shit, you know, and we was like really good friends, you know what I mean, just from doing the music and shit. Our daughters were real good friends still to this day, hang out and shit. So we was doing the radio shit up at Wider, and I had a radio show on 89.9, and we got approached by this dude Adam to do some shows and some other shit. He was like promoting. He was like really fucking with Schizo's music and shit. So that's what linked up Mastermind. So then Mastermind from Nodis and shit came into the picture because Adam was fucking with Mastermind. And you know, just a lot of weird shit. Like, I don't want to sit here and try to make people look bad, but so that year when Schizo and Mastermind was working on their album, we were supposed to go to the gathering. I was supposed to be the camera guy, just filming behind the scenes and shit. And so about a week before we was leaving, Schizo was like, "Hey, bro, like, you can't go. There ain't gonna be room and all this and that." And I'm like, "Oh, all right," because the Kill Cop shit had popped off. So like, I did the Kill Cop songs. You know, me and Schizo was performing live at venues and shit. And when the police got killed, and the police and the news and everybody was like going after me and shutting my shows down and shit. So he was like trying to like deflect that from fucking his music shit up, you know, and we was a team, so that shit was kind of like boiling over to him a little bit. So then he was like, you know, that's pretty much what it came down to. So then he said there was like no room for me. And I'm like, okay, that's fucked up. So we had this little business meeting after that, and Adam was like, "Oh, you ready for the gathering and shit?" I'm like, I thought there was no room. He was like, "What are you talking about? There's room." Schizo was like, "Oh, I didn't mean it like that." I'm like, "Well, that's what you said. Like, am I going or not?" "Yeah, you're going. A couple days before, Schizo hits me up. He's like, "Oh, Mastermind don't want you going because you got a bunch of heat and shit from the police, and we don't want your shit, you know, fucking up the music shit. So Mastermind don't want you to go to the gathering." I'm like, "All right, bet, whatever." So at that show, like right before that, they had the show there at Shakespeare's. And it's a long story short, but me and Adam kind of got into it in the parking lot, and Adam got fucked up. So all of a sudden I'm getting calls and shit, you know, from Schizo and people asking like what happened and trying to ask all these details. And I'm getting calls saying, "Oh man, they're with the police trying to talk, you know, get details and all this type of shit." And anyway, so then he hit me up and was like, "Hey bro, I can't do the radio with you no more or none of that." I'm like, "Why not?" "I don't want Adam to think, you know, he's taking sides or whatever." So right then, you know, our relationship was severed. It was over at that point. And, you know, and I was salty about that for a long time. I just thought that was some like whole ass shit. But I didn't really care, you know. A little while after that, I'd just do my own thing.
How did reflect off of that? You said all that, the heat from the Kill Cop shit really had him feeling a certain type of way. How did the Kill Cop song come about for you?
To me, it was like when I was just like deciding, oh, I'm gonna do like pursue music, like serious, like try to do some shit. I was just listening to, like I always did, I'd just be listening to songs that I already listened to. So I was listening to the Dead Prez song, Hip Hop, and I was thinking, oh man, if I turn that hip hop into Kill Cops. So I searched up, I got the instrumental. I'm like, oh man, this is gonna be easy. So I just wrote like a quick verse, you know what I mean, talking about Kill Cops, and made the hook out of it, you know, went up to Flex, you know, did the hook, and then started performing it. And me and Schizo was like doing shows together and shit. So like when I was doing that, we had it up on, I had a little video on YouTube, but then we had a live show performance up at the Strut. So we performed that shit live. I'm good on that. Like a week before the cop got shot and killed. So then all of a sudden, the news and shit, the police like started going to the venues. They went to the news. They started like doing all this shit. So the news was trying to like hit me up, and I didn't know. But they got in touch with Schizo, and like, oh, we trying to talk to Drama, and he was like, oh man, I'll do the interview with you and all this, and then like when I finally talked to him that day, he was like, oh, he said something. He's like, yeah, the news been trying to talk to you, but I'm gonna go do the interview. Don't worry, I got this. I'm gonna try to smooth everything over. I'm like, what you mean, man? Like, what? Do they want to interview you about my song? He was like, I'm about to go smooth it over. I'm like, oh no, man. Like, I'm going. Like, if they trying to talk to me, it's my song, so I'm gonna go. So we both went up to the Strut, did the interview. We did an interview with News 8 and 3 about that, but yeah. And then the police started harassing me for years, shutting down my shows. Like they went and pressured the owners of the Strut. I talked with the owners of the Strut because I had other shows booked after that, and they called me like, hey, like, I'm sorry, we got to shut the next show down. There was like, we'll just let it smooth over for a minute, and then your next shows in the months after that are good to go. Well, then when the flyers came out for them shows, the police went back to them. And then they hit me up, was like, we can't ever let you perform here. The police is harassing us and shit, and we just can't do it. So then everybody, like, I don't know what happened. Then they had me banned at Shakespeare's, which was part of like Adam and all them too. So all of a sudden I'm banned from Shakespeare's. That's when I went. You know, they tried to ban me from performing up there, and I just booked my boy Chanel up on a show. I came up there with a bunch of people masked up. They didn't know who was who. They thought my boy Tino was me. He's awful up doing this shit. They're trying to watch him to make sure he don't start rapping. All of a sudden, I get up there, I start rapping, take my mask off, and yeah, everybody at the club, everybody was all mad and shit. That shit was funny. Then I dissed the club live a cappella, talking shit to everybody, like up on stage and shit. So, I mean, but yeah,
that song was big.
Yeah, the police was really, they was fucking with me hard after that. Like, for real.
You said they was harassing you?
Yeah. Yeah, because I didn't have no license. They were just staking me out. Every time I would leave, they would pull me over, just do all types of shit. I ended up going up to the police station and filed a complaint against Sergeant Vanderklaat for all the harassment. They was doing dirty shit. I had a show one day. It was like a Saturday show, Friday night. They hit me up. I had this child support warrant that just came out, which, I mean, that shit sounds bad. I never owed child support because I had my kids. I had my kids with me. And it was like some bullshit shit. They locked me up. I went to jail. My kid's mom right away like called and was like, oh, you don't owe any child support or anything. And they had to let me out right away. But they was trying to keep me locked up for the weekend, so I couldn't do the show. So that's when I went and I filed the complaint. And then I was supposed to talk to the captain. He had set up a day. We talked on the phone and everything. And then when I went down there to the police station, he stood me up and made me wait down there for a couple hours and then never met up with me. But then I never heard shit from them ever again. Like, they stopped harassing me. Then I figured out, like, that same year, a bunch of them same cops had a federal lawsuit for harassment for somebody else. So
they didn't want you to get none of that bread.
No, they was already under fire, so they ain't really fuck with me since that. But
man, so after that, how was it trying to do the music then? With every time venues and certain motherfuckers probably wouldn't want to book you because of that song.
At that time, yeah, like at that time, I mean, really, it was a blessing and a curse because that was when I first started, you know, putting myself out there as like a local artist. I mean, I'd always been around rapping, but so that then like everybody in the whole scene, in the whole city, everyone knew who I was all at once. You know, and I didn't really give a fuck. I made like the Kill Cops remix shit like right away and dropped it. And like, I mean, my whole track history of music, you can see, like I just fed off that shit the whole time. Still do.
Worked for you.
Yeah. I mean, I always been on some fuck the police shit anyway. That shit was just proving my point of the type of shit they do. I mean, I'd made some music about some shit, you know, that had nothing to do with them. It was made before that whole incident happened in town. You know, my shit was even performed before that even happened. They tried, you know, making it seem like I was being disrespectful, which really, I don't owe them any respect anyways. You know what I mean? So.
I see you used to have a shirt say, know your enemy on them.
Yeah, the Know Your Enemy police shirts.
Where
we used to sell them.
And that all came
from that.
from that?
That, well, I mean, I wouldn't say it just came from that, because for a minute I was starting a whole know your enemy little like brand. So I had my boy make me up a bunch of different logos, and that police one was like the best one that stood out. So, and then when that shit happened, we rocked them shirts. We still got them. You know, it's been like, that was like 10 years ago.
So what was next after that for you?
I did like solo shit for a little while, then just, you know, my whole thing was always trying to put a group together, like a political group, anti-government group. So I was like focused on that. So I was
big
like
anti-government there.
Oh yeah, that's just how I always thought and shit ever, you know, even when I was young. And that's the type of music I would listen to and shit when I was young and shit. So that was my whole goal of music. Like, I got a message that I got, you know, I'm just gonna use music to put it out there. And I'm passionate about doing music too. I just, you know, I like doing music. I like writing and shit. So
what is your process for writing? For creating music? Do you
I
like
don't really put no deep thought into it or nothing. I just like the beats that I'm feeling that I'm gonna use. I'll play them, and like lately, I mean, I'll just write off a verse or two in a few hours.
Do you go in there and do the verse first, or you go in there and do the hook first?
When I record?
Yeah.
When I record, I just record in order. Well, a lot of times what I'll do is if I say an intro, I'll do that. I'll do my first verse. I don't like doing the hooks first because they take a little extra mixing and layers and shit. And I don't like waiting around in the booth, like while he's setting that up. I like to just go in, drop all my verse tracks, and then I'll lay the hook last, and then just go chill while Flex mixes it all.
So I done heard you say Flex a little bit, man. Tell us a little bit about Flex. I know a lot of people done talked about it, but people that don't know, tell us a little bit about where you be recording.
Shit, Flex is the man. DX the Flex out of Battle Creek. He's like the best engineer in Michigan. I mean, really, everybody in Kazoo, Battle Creek area. I mean, people from all over. I met a dude from Flint over there last week. People come from all over. I mean, Flex makes everybody's hits. You know what I mean? When it comes to the recording and engineering and shit.
Flex bad with it.
Flex is crazy. Like, anybody that's serious about doing music out here is probably, at least, you know, if they record their own shit, they probably still have been there and fucked with Flex at some point. But
I've been wanting to get him on the podcast, man. But
Yeah.
if anybody know, Flex don't be fucking with them cameras and shit. So
yeah, no, he don't like doing the public shit.
So,
Which I don't really like doing too much public shit.
Let's try to
like
get
this.
DX to Flex on here, man. It'll be a great one, man. I know DX got all
Man, if Flex comes down here, I gotta be down here on that day. I don't gotta be on it, but I want to be hanging out.
That'd be huge, man. That'd be
Man,
big.
that's like really. I mean, I owe any success I've had. I mean, it's hand to hand with Flex. That's like, you know, when it comes to my music, that's half of it right there. Is Flex every time. So I mean, he'd be, any little thought I got on any type of idea, he just will up it when he does it. But you already know, like, I mean, he
Flex
do
bad
anything.
with it. So, after you were doing the solo shit for a while, when did you decide it was time to put together the group?
So just over doing shows and shit, I ended up linking up with Chenille. He was a lot younger than me, and but he would be on sometimes of the same shit. But I could tell by the way he rapped that he would fit into that if he wanted to do the political shit like that. So I had met him over at Synergy Productions house, Matt and Bill, because I was getting some beats off him. So I was listening to some beats, and Chenille walked in. That was their boy, you know. They was like
Shout out Matt and Bill.
Yeah, shout out, for real. So I was like over there, and Chenille walked in. I was listening to this beat. He was like, "Oh, that's mine." You know what I mean? He was like, "I already got that one." I'm like, "Oh man, I fucked with that." It was Hotel California remix.
Dope.
So Chenille was like, "Man, we could do it together," and we ended up doing that together. It was like a weed smoking song that we did, and and then I ended up throwing, we did like a political song together. I ended up figuring out like he was kind of into that shit. So I just, you know, I was like, man, you want to like link up and do some shit. So we made like an album together. And right around that time is when I was like, you know, fucking with Jay Cutlass and Mag and shit, and all them guys. So ended up over time, Jay Cutlass just ended up wanting to be in the group too. He wanted to do some political shit like that. So it just started coming together. So we dropped our first group album in 2014.
That's dope.
Yeah, and then Checkmate ended up meeting Checkmate at DX's house, doing, you know, at the studio. Started seeing him like every Sunday at the studio, and threw him on a couple songs, and he fit in real good. He was on that shit too. And so we brought him in. He ended up being, you know, in it too. And Young Ghost, he'd been down. Me and Ghost had been, you know, fucking with each other's music from since way before the camp even. But you know, Ghost isn't super serious about doing the political shit. He'll go there here and there, but that grimy type of shit he loves to do. So he's always been featured, and he, you know, he's always been a camp member too.
So 2014. So when was the first year y'all tapped in as a group and decided to go to the Gathering?
That year. We went to the Gathering that year, like not performing or anything, you know, because we didn't even have the shit ready yet. We was had a bunch of sampler CDs, flyers and shit. Man, we did a lot of crazy shit that year at the Gathering. Like before we even made it in there, we happened to be in the parking lot right there by Cryptic Wisdom. So we hooked up with him, linked up, started talking to him, hung out with him randomly, and ended up bringing him up for a show and shit. We was fucking with Light a lot of the time. We was all camped out kind of close, and we already knew who Light was. We ended up bringing Light for shows and shit. And we knew Project Born and shit too. So yeah, no, we had a lot of fun at the Gathering the first time. We did a lot of promotion, and we did some slick shit that everybody there, even like the people who ran the Gathering, like gave us props on shit, like on some of the marketing shit we did there, because we put the show schedule on the back of our flyer. There was no like loose show schedules around, and they had like free merch booths where you could just put up merch for free up there. So we had like, I mean, thousands of these flyers that had the show schedule on the back and then our shit on the other side. So I mean,
It's going crazy.
we still got fans and shit that we're linked up with and connected to right now from back then, from that time.
So that year y'all just went as
We went as the group, but we didn't really have music out as the
you
group.
didn't have shit ready.
Right.
So when did y'all come back and
So
or when did y'all apply and try to get on it together?
the next year we tried, but we didn't make it. We kept trying, and then 2018 we got on it. So we went and performed it together in 2018, and that was sweet. You know,
How was
it
that?
was nice being on there. It was sweet. I mean, that's big shit for any like underground artist, especially from here in the kind of lane that we're in. You know what I mean? Like we fuck with the Juggalos and shit, and just any kind of underground hardcore type music. You know what I mean? Not just political shit. You know, horrorcore, whatever, all types of shit we fuck with. So that was sweet, and I mean we made a lot of connections still to this day. Like
From that Gathering?
you had that video, the Cody Manson video that you played, the cartoon video. He actually was performing, I think, one or two people after us that day when we performed. That's how I linked up with him.
That turned into a
And he
connection.
got signed. You know, he's signed to LSP now, and he's, you know, doing pretty big shit. You know, and shout out to Cody. You know what I mean? Like he approached us after we performed. He was like, "Man, I fuck with that shit." You know, he was like, "Not many people just go straight with the political shit anymore. You know, it's not really like a popular thing to do. To put yourself out there and do that now is just, you know, it like I said, it's just not the popular music to do." So
No, yeah. So 2018 y'all got accepted for the Gathering.
yeah.
Did that make y'all grind, come back and grind super hard as a group? Like fuck it, we just got on the Gathering.
Fuck yeah, like we was hyped up, man. When I'm shit, But I got that email from Jump Steady, man. Damn, I was excited when I hit up the guys. Like, damn near feel like you're making it, you know, at that time, which is kind of funny, but at the same time, it's still a big achievement. I'm still, I you know, I can't let that one go. You know what I mean? That was sweet. That was a fun time. I brought my son there too. We was partying and shit. That shit was funny. The gathering's crazy. You ever go to a gathering?
I've been to like 4 gatherings.
Man, gathering's crazy.
3 or 4 gatherings, man. I used to be tapped in, and we definitely used to go to all the. I think I went to like maybe 3, 4, 5.
That shit's wild as fuck. That's like the best party.
Those gatherings definitely dope.
That's one of the funnest.
Any underground artists definitely submit and try to get in, man. That bitch is dope.
Yeah, that shit was sweet.
So what was next? Did y'all come back?
Next year we did that the Breaks Festival in Chicago. Where we opened up for Tech 9, Method Man, Redman, Jedi Mind Tricks, Immortal Technique. I mean, there's so many shit. Do or Die, fucking Cameron. It's so many people that was on that.
The breaks be huge, man.
I mean, it was like, that was crazy.
They got another breaks coming up soon, don't they?
Do they? I don't know.
It's gonna be crazy. So after the Breaks Festival, when did you guys start throwing shows and doing different stuff?
I mean, Cutlass was throwing shows. That was kind of his thing, you know what I mean? Like, we threw some shows as a group over the years and shit, but Jay threw more shows as himself, like as a promoter. So he was doing that, which that's how we usually started doing it. Yeah, I'm good on that for now. Just because he was already a promoter, like when he joined the group. So when he joined the group,
he was having a promoter as a group member.
Yeah, that's why we do that shit. You know what I mean? Like, you know, it's a small city. Sometimes the scene here is jumping more than others. You know that. You guys are one of the main people that's thrown shows here over a long period of time. But like sometimes you gotta just start throwing shows to put yourself on if you want to get up there and start performing shit. Otherwise, there ain't gonna be shit else to do if you don't just do it.
Right.
So we just started throwing shows and doing shit to put ourselves on, make shit happen.
So, then pandemic and shit hit. So
man, so much crazy shit's happened since then.
So after that, that's when the shit was really starting to happen.
Well, I mean, like, in 2 different kind of ways, you know, like, the group, it was like, well, then we almost did this little deal with MNE, Magic Ninja, and that fell through. You know, we were super hyped up. That shit was a go, and then, like, the next day it wasn't a go. So then the pandemic hit. Well, that was when the pandemic hit, right at the same time. Like
that's what fucked up the go is that all that shit. It was a bunch
I know that stressed them and every other like major label that had a bunch of tours and shit. I don't think that was it specifically with us. It was just a combination of things, other shit. You know what I mean? And it was like, you know, some of the people over there was like, yeah, it's a go, and some of the people wasn't. So, you know, we fit and kind of don't fit over there anyways. So, I mean,
yeah,
you know, we're still kind of different. And
that's what's good about being underground, being independent, though. You can do your own thing without having to have a motherfucker trying to fit into a certain style.
Yeah, and that's the way I always did it. I always just did my own thing. Like, I never really fit in or try to do popular sounding shit or just try to do anything to be like, oh yeah, this is what they want to hear. Like, I don't approach music like that, you know what I mean? So
you make what you want to make.
Exactly.
You like that shit, cool. If not, cool.
Exactly.
So man, I seen Big John say it in there and real shit. That was gonna be one of my questions. Anybody ever told you to like be real and shit though?
All the time. People used to call me Be Real back in the day, all the time. And that's funny because And then he cut his hair, and I had cut my hair too, like around the same time back in the day, because I used to have the big ass fro back in the day all the time. So everyone used to always call me B Real or John B. People would always call me John B back in the day.
When did you start growing the fro? What made you grow the fro?
Oh man, shit! I started growing my hair out when I was young, like 17 probably or 18. I had long hair all the way up till my mid-20s. I cut it off, and then I used to just like shave my shit like army style all the time until about 2014. I started growing it out again, just because I knew I'm getting older, so it's only a matter of time.
Before that shit going, might as well keep that shit.
Grow it out, enjoy it for
I
now.
feel
You know what I mean? I like the long hair and shit. Sometimes it's annoying to fuck with, but
sometimes it's like fuck it.
yeah.
I still got my shit.
Right.
You still got it. You can
Still
have
got
it.
Yeah.
So what was next after that? After the group shit, after the pandemic, then? During the
You know, some
pandemic,
kind of
did
like shit. You know, a
Did it
lot of
slow
shit
y'all up?
happened on with the group. You know, we had some shows canceled and stuff because of the pandemic, and then you know, we always had McVeigh. 808 McVeigh was our producer. He was
Man,
like
shout
our
out,
homeboy.
shout out McVeigh.
Yeah, rest in peace, man. My boy McVeigh. That was our producer. You know, we had a sound. It was like we did political shit over like Midwest trap style shit, and kind of built up on that. And then he passed away, and then we didn't really, you know.
Why he on the McVeigh thing, man? A lot of people don't know. I'm gonna tell this little quick story. Is Highlight and Doobie came in town, and we was like, yeah, we want to get in the studio, but we didn't have the beat. Man, I hit Drama. Did we come to where you were at?
We was all there. We was all
And
there
you
at
played
Heathen's
it?
house. We was at Heathen's crib already hanging
at
out.
Heathen's.
Yeah.
And Drama had this
and then
beat.
no one had, and then you guys everyone was like, oh, we need a beat. Like we got down to the studio, remember? And
Drama
they
had
was like,
this
oh,
beat.
we don't got a beat. You guys
he
was
is
like, we don't
here.
got a beat. I'm like, shit, I got beats. So that's when, what was it? Me and you, we went over to my house. Who went over there? Me and Blaine?
Yeah.
Me and Blaine.
Man, listen.
Picked out some ran through beats that I had at McVeigh's.
Drama had a McVeigh beat he did not really want to get rid of. I'm not gonna hold you up, but I'm glad he did because we ended up getting to do the song with Doobie and shit. We recorded that bitch right down there at Heathen's crib,
Yeah.
and that shit was dope. I definitely wanted to talk about
That's
that.
a nice song.
That's
too.
my-
What's that song called?
We own.
Yeah, that shit's sweet.
And what's so crazy is, man, what sucks is that was our only time ever having an 808 McVeigh beat. So thank you for that. But damn.
Yeah, he's he's legendary in KZoo. Yeah, I mean, he was one of the first producers. I mean, he was really gonna go far with that shit, for real.
McVeigh was dope. It was real dope for real. You said so after
So after that, then that's when the Sealance, we started working with Sealance because Checkmate, there was some shit for MNE, some contest or something that Checkmate did that Sealance was a part of. So he had already talked to him in the past. I don't know the exact story on that, but so he was like, man, maybe, you know, we could reach out and see what's up. And so he did. We ended up linking up the business, ended up doing the Infidel project, which was 7 tracks that was all produced by Sealance. So, but that like was a whole new different type of sound, you know, that's like the boom bap, you know, it's a whole different type of sound than we was used to doing, but it was like music that I listened to that type of shit already. You know, that's the type of shit I fuck with already anyways, but so it was an easy transition anyway. I mean, that shit was sweet. So, and that's just, since then I've been working, you know, with Sealance and a few other people.
Didn't you go do the backpack cipher shit? Didn't you?
Yeah, we went to Team Backpack.
Yeah, tell me a little bit about that.
That was sweet. Mission Underground Los Angeles, that was what, 2015. So we was watching the ciphers. You know, I was heavy into watching the ciphers. I just be watching rap shit all the time. So they was doing the contest. You could submit. You'd have to pick one of their beats, make a live video where you're like live rapping that shit, and send it in. And we did it. Me, Ghost, and Jay Cutlass all got invited to go out there to LA. So we went out there and did it like Cypher style, but we didn't even know what it was gonna be. So it, like, you can see the Mission Underground LA shit, like the big time people that was there rapping, like Jaron Benton, all types of people, Chris Rivers, Demrick was there. I mean, just a bunch of people, a bunch of legendary people doing ciphers. And but it was also 600 like of us, like unknown rappers that all sent our shit in there. And then it was like a contest, so you'd have to go there and live spit. Like, they drop the beat and you gotta just one take, you know what I mean? You gotta spit your shit live one time. You gotta have like a verse ready to go. So that shit was fun, man. We actually was in the same motel with all the people that was there from Grind Mode Cypher. So like, that's when I started paying attention to Grind Mode Cypher, because we was like hanging out with a bunch of them, because we was all at the same motel and shit. Them dudes were pretty cool.
When did you start doing all this solo music you got going on? I see you've been working.
Well, the group ain't really, I ain't gonna say too much, like Chenille ain't really doing music no more. He had, a bunch of crazy shit happen. So, and, the other guys just with work and stuff. So, we're still doing shit, but like when we dropped the Sealand shit last year, it's just time. Like, there's certain people, like the eyes are on, like right now, and it's time. You know what I mean? I just know it's time, and I'm just feeling it, and I'm just ready to. Like, I just been hungry writing shit.
With Sealance a lot.
Yeah, that's my guy, man. Shout out to Sealance. I mean, Sealance. I just is 7 tracks, and then I'm putting out the deluxe version that's got all of those plus like other shit on it. So most of it's all produced by Sealance, but I do got some random other production on there. I got Johnny Slash featured on there, Sutter Kane, my boy KD the Stranger, so Stu Bangers, got Stu Bangers on there. Since I've been, I don't know, it's just been working. I just been just writing nonstop shit. So I just wrote so much material. Now I'm just dropping like a bunch of albums right now.
You got a release time? I see you even just dropping singles and stuff too. So
well, I dropped the album. Shit, man, like my phone's like alive. It's alive. But let's see. I dropped the album in April, like around April 1st, which was like some totally different shit. That was the Triumvirate. Then July 4th is the third one. And then sometime in the beginning of August is going to be the deluxe version. Okay. So, yeah, I'm like in the middle of that right now.
That's dope.
And that shit's like, shit's everywhere.
Not a trilogy, you don't even know what to call it, but
a series.
Yeah, it's a fucking series.
Yeah, it was going to be, like I was just making one big album. And then I was talking to some people and shit, and got some advice from people. It's better these days, especially with the streaming, just put out a couple smaller projects, throughout the year, separate them a little bit. That way you're always dropping more shit, always having newer shit for people to check out. Just because, the way people listen to music these days is different.
A lot different
than it was even 10 years ago, especially 20, 15 years ago.
Some new shit every day, don't give a fuck.
Exactly. And you just always got to be dropping shit, especially when you're, trying to come up. You got to stay active, so you're just always in, people always see something. There's a lot of people to see these days. So you want to make sure you're always being seen.
Hell, you gotta stay seen.
Exactly.
There's so many motherfuckers doing it to it. You gotta stand out and make, you know what I'm saying? Keep on doing it.
Yeah.
So, you just said you got that shit. You got the next 2 coming out in July and August. So what else you got? What else you got playing? What else you got coming? Whether music shows.
Show's been slow rolling, man. I ain't gonna lie. Like I had some nice shows booked and shit before the pandemic, and since then, you know, I had possible shit, but I had a couple people reach out that didn't, you know, want to pay the fee or whatever. So it's just been slow moving with the shows. I ain't really worried about the shows. Like,
Just dropping that music and content, visuals.
yeah, man,
and
I'm
shit.
just going where what's moving strong for me right now. I'm just pumping the content, and you know, I'm easily putting out the best shit I ever been doing. Like, it's coming so easy now. I'm just doing that, focus on that.
That's
put
where
the
you
shit out
found.
there.
That's where you know you found your shit though. Is when it come easy to you. You don't feel like it's hard trying to come up with something.
Yeah, it's easy these days. I've just been in the groove for a minute or something. But yeah. I got a lot more albums. I'm about to drop past those that are already pretty much all recorded and done for the most part. Gotta add features and some random shit.
What are you doing features right now for people that's looking for features?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm always available. All the time. Quick turnaround too. So I
And
mean,
what
just
feature
reach out
makes
to
you
me,
all
Drama
tapped in?
Treason. I mean, all the social media sites or whatever, you can find me.
Yeah. Anything else you want to shout out or you want to tell the people anything else?
I mean, I don't know. I can't really think of shit.
All right. Well, hey, shout out my sponsors, Apple
I mean,
Sky
we gotta
Farms.
talk about that jelly shit real
Yeah,
quick.
yeah.
Because I know that shit looked funny for a minute. You know, I was supposed to do that track with Jelly that we did do a long ass time ago. You know what I mean? And shit just got fucked up, man, because we already put out one to, for one, we did like, Jay did like 3, I did 2. We already put all the other ones out. And I was just saving that best song that he convinced me, like, hey, you know what I mean? If I take this back home after the tour, I can sing the hook, make it real sweet for you and shit. I'm like, bet, let's do it. So I waited on it, you know, for that, waited to put the song out till it was the right time. Pretty much, it's been a few years. And there was a problem with the CD Baby with the release. Like, I had stopped the release twice because they kept putting them as a primary. So I stopped the release twice. Well, then I had customer service on. The guy was like, oh man, just go through, make your changes. Well, he pushed that shit through accidentally. And then hits me up like, oh man, we gotta cancel and redo it. I'm like, that shit ain't gonna like go out though, right? And it did that night. So it like dropped on Jelly's shit. So I started sending a message right away explaining it. I canceled it right away so that shit could come out the right way.
So they fucked your whole shit up.
Yeah, they fucked it up, which I already went through customers. I already went through like a supervisor and shit over there. You know, they did fuck it up. I mean, that's their fuck up. But at the same time, Jelly got mad, went to Instagram, talked a little bit of shit about it. You know what I mean? And then had his people claim intellectual property rights on the verse, so I can never put it out. Or some shit. It gave me a strike at CD Baby, which I don't even fuck with CD Baby anymore because so many man, they suck anyway. I just man, it's just a million reasons, but for real, like DistroKid is the way to go if you're trying to get the most out of your money when you distribute the shit. Yeah, especially if you distribute a lot of shit like I do.
A lot of people don't even know how to go about distributing music. There's still motherfuckers
That
still
shit's easy,
upload,
gotta
there's still
do it.
motherfuckers uploading music just to SoundCloud and shit.
Just not. You gotta. I mean, if you're serious about it, you want your shit in as many spots as you can have it. And I mean, if you're serious, you gotta just distribute it. It's so easy now because there's like just a million different places you can do it with. You know, but it's like, what's the confusing part is there's so many different places with so many different types of fees and shit. It's like at first, it's you don't know what to do. But really, DistroKid is probably the best because they pay the most, especially if you put a lot of. It's like $40 a year, unlimited releases. Like CD Baby charges per release, all types of shit, and they don't pay you all your money like DistroKid does. So.
Better off ride with DistroKid, shit.
At this point, you know what I mean? Unless something like more professional or whatever ever comes my way, at this point, like that's the best best way out. And you still gotta, you know, do your ASCAP and shit or whatever. You know, that end of it you still gotta do too. To collect to collect your royalties or whatever. So.
Man, see, look, you know, I know, but a lot of, man, these people, man, they don't even know. Robert right now, he's like, huh? And I'm gonna tell you, man, a lot of people don't even know about ASCAP and BMI and all these different.
Yes, I mean, it's like confusing shit to get into at first when, you know, people that make music ain't really
Worried about that. They
business type of shit. You know, that's a whole different angle, but if you're trying to really do your music, you gotta figure out the business shit too, at least the basics. But this shit, I mean, if you're trying to get paid off the shit or whatever, I mean, that's the only way.
Only way.
Yeah.
Shit, man. Yeah, once again, man, shout out to Instagram one more time so they be able to find you.
Drama Treason _ Conspiracy Camp, spell that with the K's. Drama Treason on Facebook and YouTube and shit.
Yeah,
So.
check them out, man. Shout out my sponsors, Apple Sky Farms. Shout out Exotic Pop. Go to YouTube and subscribe to the channel Smoke Session with Squirrel. It will have all the episodes on there. You can check out old episodes. This episode, the full episode, will be up. Thanks for tapping in. It's episode 74. We out.